Finally, Hardy, what have you got, Sat?
800,000 hit by NHS blunder on organ donation. It's in the Daily Mail, so that probably means 3 people hit by NHS blunder.
It's exactly the same in The Independent and everywhere else.
It's a serious issue that 21 bereaved families have found out that organs that consent wasn't given for were used after the death of their loved ones. That's what they've discovered so far. I mean, who knows how many it truly is. I mean, it is awful. It's awful to think that a loved one has been altered and changed in a way that wasn't agreed. But I think I've worked in kind of this area for about 10, 15 years, one way or another. And I think what we should have in this country is an opt-in system. Yeah. We should assume everyone is willing to donate everything unless you say otherwise. Yeah. Although having said that, people that did do that, you know, a guy said you can have all my organs apart from my eyes, found out that they intended still to use his eyes. So there's a government inquiry into it, so clearly that won't be solved very quickly. In The Sun, I'm just going to read the headline, Gay Sex Link to Eugene Terreblanche's death. I don't really know how to feel about this, but apparently the lawyer of one of the black farmers charged with killing the far-right South African leader is claiming that his client was sexually involved with Eugene Terreblanche.
OK, yeah, no, I think that's probably dealt with rather well there, I think, Hardy, if I have to say.
And page 4 of the Daily Star, Gordon has a great face for radio. The only reason I plucked this story out is because the same is true of me. It was a kind of offhand comment by Neil Kinnock, the greatest Prime Minister we've never had, who, on the Andrew Marr show, said that Gordon had a great face for radio and should... you know, kind of stick to what he does well. I think the problem with Gordon Brown is he's actually a really decent man, a good man, a caring and compassionate man. Anyone who's met him says that, you know, hasn't worked for him clearly, has says that about him. So quite how he manages to tie himself into these knots, I don't know.
Isn't Neil Kinnock saying that about Gordon Brown a bit pot calling the kettle ginger?
Can I just say it's pot calling the kettle of colour? Let's just, do you know what I mean? Don't want to offend anyone, which we'll be talking about in part 4.
I'd just like to say there are plenty other political leaders out there battling for your votes. Varying degrees of handsomeness. Yeah. Well, no, actually, they've changed the rules. Now we have to remain balanced over the course of the election run. Right. So today, you know, Hardy bigged up Gordon Brown. Tomorrow, somebody could big up Nick Clegg. And Nick Griffin, I'm sure, will get his time.
I do hope not.
After the break, have you had it with organic food? Why have sales of chemical-free produce slumped so dramatically? Has the novelty worn off? Is it the cost? But come on, if organic is so much better for you, as advocates claim, then surely you should buy it whatever the cost. You know, give up your Skybox instead. 0207 173 5555. That's the number for your calls. If you've given up on organic, we'd love to know why. Your calls are nothing but after these ads.
How much more expensive is organic food than non-organic on average? 10, 20 or 30%? Find out after the ads.